Hey yo, welcome to the morning smoke.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
See what's happening, brother.
Man, nothing much, man. Trying to hold it in the road, man. If I had your hand, I'd throw mine in, brother.
Hey, brother, you better be careful what you ask for.
What you got planned today, brother?
Hey, man, I got a lot of things on the to-do list. Just all about being executing, honestly. You just get through it, man. It's a beautiful morning, so we can't complain, brother.
So, man, your professional experience and opinion, man. What do you think keeps so many people away from actually executing things that they set out to do?
From executing?
Mm-hmm.
Will, honestly. I would say will, and you really have to kind of determine, like, how bad you really want something.
Right.
And I think once you kind of place value on that, then you can like make it register. Because some things you'll do, you're not gonna actually love to do, and that's part of the process of breaking you down to get to be that person you want to be. Mm-hmm. So some things like, trust me, I don't like getting up at 5:39, going 5:30, getting up going to the gym. However, I know the benefits of going to the gym. Like if I don't sit around, boy, I look like I grow. I'll just say that. Yeah, I grow, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I'm big on how I look. I'm trying to get this healthy thing back going. It's also big on your mind. Like you think sharper. That was funny though, right? Yeah, you think sharper the whole nine. Yeah. And that's what I'm big on. I think people have to really place value on what they want, and once you do that, you'll do whatever it takes to get there. Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
So just understanding your why.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think about that though? Like why you think people execute?
I would say the same thing, man. I know that sounds terrible, but it goes to that why, man. Because a why when you talk about that will, understanding your why, I mean, that'll never be a question. Like if you know why you doing what you do, right. Like if you look at everything, like if it was your child's future at stake, or if it was you getting away from this job that you don't like or something, or if it's you getting that dream car or vacation or this person, whatever it is that you want, you know what I'm saying? Like if you move with that in mind, like your will is gonna be there. Like that will is gonna always be there if that thing is important to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I definitely agree with that, man.
Right.
Like 100%. Like what do you have on some tips, man? People finding their why. What you can kind of,
I guess associating, like honestly discovering or like figuring out what is that first off. Like what is your why? That's the biggest thing. Like start with your why. I think there's a book you kind of recommended to me to read. I ain't got to it yet, bro.
Get to
I think that's the next one coming up after Think and Grow Rich. I think I'm gonna finish that one out, and then I'll go into start with your why. But just that topic, just the topic alone, the title of the book. Yeah. Start with your why. Like really figure that thing out. Like for me, my daughter, like I don't want to see her live the life I did. Like my parents did as much as they could for us. However, now that they gave us the game and now we know so much more. Like there's no way that she should start off how I did. It should be so much better. So that's why, I kind of have certain things set up for her at this point. So when she do become of age, like she like her starting point is much greater. Yeah. So I think just kind of figuring out what that why is, and then once you figure out, be like, yo, okay, this is the reason why I gotta get up. This is the reason why I gotta do this, because if I don't, then somebody left out of that. They can don't eat, man. If I don't do it.
I feel it.
Oh yeah.
So my thing with why, like I read that book and I was like, every time I read, I'm always excited to tell everybody that listen to me.
You
about
definitely
it.
do.
Right. Sometimes I ruin the books, but hopefully people get the lesson, right? Because that's the most important part. I save you time. Some people say thank you, considering my time. Yeah, man. But so I talk to people about that why concept, but most people only stop at money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Like, why you want to be this thing? And I try to like dig even deeper, So it's like, why you want the money? Like, it has to be a reason, right? Like, why do you want that time? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, people just get so caught up in the money thing. And I would ask more questions, but it's usually like, man, it's just money, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's like the money gotta, like, that's just a tool. Like, so what are you gonna do with the money? Is it vacation? Is it, securing a better life for your family? Is it, like to be able to quit your current job? Like, what is it that, you know what I'm saying? And it's always getting lost with the person and trying to do that, like trying to narrow down the why. But I think that's extremely important, man, understanding why.
Yeah.
Simon Sinek was a bad boy for that.
And I think just digging deeper in there, why though, like you saying, like that really opened up the reality of what you up against. Cause like it was one situation, even being financial expert or financial advisor for a lot of people. I see a lot of people act, like, oh well, I need to structure this so I can start making more money. And then, once I got more money, they think all problems is just selling. Like, nah, bro, that ain't what it is.
Right.
You're gonna get that money and you don't have nothing associated with it. What I'm gonna do with it, you just gonna continue to go in the cycle, like work and getting money, and then what?
Money,
and then saying, oh, I want to do this. So it's like really associated. Like, what do I want to do? Like, what do I want for my life? What do I feel like I'm owed as far as do my hard work? So I see a lot of people. One guy, he was like, yeah, I just want to get money so I can travel a lot. Is it the money aspect? Be a flight attendant. Like it's the reality of it. If you want to travel, be a flight attendant. Like you at a point now, you don't have any kids or nothing, be a flight attendant. If you want to travel, so stop. Like, don't look at it from that standpoint. Like, if we cover all grounds, check off all dot all I, cross all T's of the situation. Like, is it really the money factor? Not. It's just like you said, it's a tool. So, like, figure out what that thing is, man. Like, seriously.
That's cool.
Yeah, open up.
I was in, I think, Jimmy John's, I want to say. I don't know the difference between sandwich places.
They got a Little John sandwich now, ain't
yeah, we in the right spot. Yeah. They make pretty good cold sandwich. That cold
I don't
clothes.
like no cold sandwich, brother.
It's good, man. But it ain't advertising. But anyhow, yeah, man. So I was reading, I like to read whenever I get a chance to, man, including things on the wall, ingredient wrappers and everything. But this was on the wall, and they had a little story similar to what you were saying, but it was like, it was this kid, it was this older man. I think he was like in Mexico or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he would like shop. I mean, he was like, not shop, he would fish, and he would get his fish. And the guy was like, man, like it was like a rich man, businessman came over and was like, man, you fish really well, don't you know? He like, what do you do with it? The guy was like, man, I just like get the fish and I go feed my family and then I come back out here tomorrow. He's like, don't you know you can fish like and get more, sell enough of it to where you can get a boat. When you get a boat, then you get a contract with another big company, and then you get that big company. Now you can probably go get your business, go public. You can IPO it, you know what I'm saying? You sell out your share, become top millionaire. You'll probably be away from your family for a while because you'll be traveling between Mexico and New York, but like then you'll be set up for good. And he was like, why would you? He like, so like, what would you want to do with all that money or something like that? I ain't quite got the stuff, but he's like, what you like do all that? Dude was like, well, I like to like get the fish, take it home, like I like to feed my family. Like, long story short, I probably told that story terribly, but the whole concept of the story was like he was already doing what he would do if he had money,
right?
Which was like provide for his family and be with his family. And actually, that process to do that would have caused him to be away from his family. So he actually would have lost a part of what he was doing just because he had more money. But it was like where he was at, he was okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And I felt like that story was like close to what you were saying right there. I thought that was a cool story too because it's always about understanding because not everybody like where they want to be. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like some people want to be able to do more than like travel and all that stuff. For him, it was like being at home with his family and providing for him, which he was already doing.
Make a lot of sense. So what do you think though? Do you think like enough is enough though? Like, do you think once we get into a zone like that, like he creating this whole routine, doing this day by day, and sometimes you get a little comfortable. So sometimes you do have to account for variable change. Like what happens if something just like drastic happens? Like that's why I think like it's cool to be settled in something, like the whole thing, understanding why, and then you have that. But do you have to sometimes think you have to make some little small adjustments on certain things, invest in something different or do something like that just in case?
I would agree. I would
knock you off your routine.
I would agree. I like that concept because it's a very simple,
right. I like
simple concept behind it. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people that shoot for that comfort. You know what I'm saying? But comfort ain't really a thing, right? So anything can happen. It doesn't matter like your child. Like a lot of people just like they want to get to a point and they're like, okay, I've gotten to where I want to get and I want to stop right here. But it's like, what if like I don't know, like that comfortable thing just scares me because it's like, what if you just getting by, right?
Right.
What happens like your kid gets sick or something? Unfortunate situation, your kid gets sick and maybe their care is expensive or their medicine is expensive or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like like, what are you gonna do then? Like, now you gotta react, and that's the worst situation to be in when you're already in a stressful situation like that. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta definitely just set yourself up for like any kind of thing that come up and for all the future successes.
Prepare for the unknown always.
Right.
Like, you know, you want to set yourself up in a position where you take the stress. I think I call it a stress factor.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm just doing the job just so I can pay bills and cover these things. If you really started like look at it for what it is, it was one girl. She was going to like she just purchased the car and the credit score wasn't just there, but and had a high note. She paying out like $500. Like we really sat down and broke it down. We had this conversation. $500 for this, like $500 for the note, $150 or so for the insurance. Like all of these are bills like she got when she started working the job. So and then and traveling out to go to the job, and then coming back going to school. It was just pretty much it. Prior to, didn't have that car, didn't have those bills, because I was doing school. So I'm like, yo, if you really look at it, if we break down numbers, you working to cover this car bill, and you only use the car to go to the job. So we look at it for what it is, this not making much sense. So I think, man, like sometimes you just gotta sit back, eliminate the debt, man, and take out the stress factors in your life. So that's big for me. Like, okay, well, some things I don't need, some subscriptions, let's wipe them out. That's what I was doing in 2020. I don't need this, man. Why I still got this going on? And start eliminating that, and then start working toward the goal of hitting the level 1, like you did with the financial freedom. Of like, okay, now I got those bills paid from an investment I made, and now, boom, what would I do when I wake up?
Right.
That's when I think people can really hone in on discovering that why and focus, like that's really going in on it.
Like if your life was perfect, what does it look like?
Right.
Yeah, I like that. That's good stuff.
Make a lot of sense. Yeah, so dang on King, brother. So
you got me thinking, brother.
That's something to think about.
Yeah,
though. I really think
stuff,
about it. And I just kind of try to tell people like, hey, look at it from that angle. I haven't always thought that way, but it's just the more you come into contact with other people, that's why I like exposure, getting to know people, and things that nature kind of open your mind up to see. Even if that costs investing in yourself. It's been $1,000 I pumped into self-development. But the benefit of it long term, like, sets you up, man. Like, yeah, that's what I had to learn. Like, self-development is key. If you investing in yourself,
best investment, man.
Best investment you can make. And I wonder why people are so scared to do that, though. What do you think it is? Like, we'll pump money into so much foolishness, but when it comes down to either learning more, getting better at certain things, why is that like so risky for us? Why are we not?
That's a good question, man. I honestly never thought about that, but that's a good question. Like, let me think about for myself. So, investing in yourself. I don't know, man, because it's like so yourself, right? So every individual we made out different. That's the beauty for being beauty of being an individual. So you'll be establishing your own. You'll be establishing your own thing, right? Mm-hmm. So to be designing around your life, designing what your interests are, what you need to do, your family, and all that stuff. I think a lot of people would buy into other people things by, working somewhere else and never actually gambling on themselves because systems are probably already in place. Because that person already did the hard work a long time ago. Maybe their family member did it for them. Understand they just a business get passed down. But you don't have to go through that heartache, and you also don't have to look in that mirror one day and be like, it's the fear of failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to look back and be like, man, I done lost all this crap. You know what I'm saying? Because in a sense, we never really think we are what we truly are. Like a lot of we sell ourselves short a lot of times. Yeah. What you think about it, man? That's a good question.
Now that you brought that point up, that changed my whole view on a lot of things now. Because I never looked at it from that angle. Like, why? Like, why they choose to do that? And it could be, the reason why. Like, okay, I got more belief in somebody else because they've done the work.
Right. Process is there.
But that's the difference between, I guess, executing and doing it, because that person who, I guess, got to where they are, they had a lot of hiccups before then.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you can take note of what they did, and I think you start your process and just, like, learn from what they did wrong and not try to make those same mistakes, which could elevate you further along than they are. So I think you still want to pump money into yourself, like, have that belief in yourself. Nobody know you like you So like, hey, get out here and make something happen. Sometimes people can see certain things that you don't see too. So they ain't always, you know, oh well, believe in myself. Yeah, that's why they're important. That's why I say invest in yourself, self-development. Because people start to sharpen your mind, and now you start to see the reality of what you actually can become.
Right.
So it's big, and I think just man, like really. Like, that's something to think about now. I'm trying to figure it out.
I think a part of that investment, like one of the payouts, is that you build that confidence along the way. You know what I'm saying? Like seeking out mentors. Like mentors, like I don't know the true definition, but by my definition, you know what I'm saying? Oxford ain't got nothing on me. Yeah. By my definition, man, it's like finding somebody that's gonna push you to where you need to be, and they can also see something in you that you can't really see yourself. Those make the best mentors. So they see where you like matching what your goals are. They can pull you and help guide you to where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's when you talk about investing in yourself, you got to pay for something like that. Or you end up working somewhere for this person, like for free or something, just to be around this person. Right. It's worth that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, at the end of that process, you're gonna gain a better understanding of yourself, which then raises your confidence, your education, like your knowledge towards everything. Like it overall would just make you a better, more whole you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that will also help lead to the execution, because now you don't mind going gamble on yourself because you built yourself up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I guess that also plays on like making sure that's all I always say, that like making sure the critics in your life are credible. And what I mean by that is being selective on the mentors you do have. Okay. Because I remember a situation where I was kind of like visiting my uncle. And we went out, he was connecting me with some of the people like he knew. And it was more like a networking thing than anything. But we was like on this boat chilling. And some of the people, like they was there. It was like a Tuesday or Wednesday or something. Mm-hmm. People supposed to be at work. That what you would think. Like in the average person mind, be like, yo, man, you need to be you better at work. But they got there on the boat chilling. And the guy started talking to me. And I was telling like the goals and stuff I want to kind of reach at this age and things of that nature. And the only thing he had to say was, like, young man, keep going. I see, I can sense the passion in you, and I think you're going to do well with it. And he's investing in real estate. He got everything knocked out. So he getting his, and he making it happen. I get a phone call while I'm out there from a family member. And like, you always going somewhere, you need to be stable. You need to get you a job and work this here. And all this whole nine. I'm thinking like, and in my mind, I'm like, but I don't want to be nowhere near where you are. So should I take this advice, or should I listen to what the person who I see myself as being saying? So that was a trigger. That was like a trigger point for me. Like, yo, let's do this. Like, it may be some ups and downs on this entrepreneurial journey. However, the whole goal is to like keep being consistent and keep going until it do happen. Yeah, versus taking like advice from somebody you think like loved ones and things. And that's the one that a lot of people like kind of get hurt by, because they feel like, this is my loved one. They telling me this. They got your best interest, but that ain't always the case. Yeah. So it's just like that. That's one thing. Be very selective on your mentors too.
I think that's a major key right there. That's a major key. You got to write that one down. Whoever listening, that's a good one, bro. Like, because a lot of people another thing a lot of people make mistakes at, which is similar to what you're saying, is people will assign mentors over their life that is like, they have nothing to do with what you want to go. Like, they don't understand that, right? Like, I remember me joining the military. There weren't people that like, well, you gonna go there, man? Them people gonna drag you and get killed, man. Draft ain't happened since like Vietnam or something like that. That's the 60s and 70s, man.
Right.
Like, yeah, man. So like, people tell me about the military, and I finally started asking people like, oh, you like, not even in a disrespectful way. It was out of curiosity. It's like, oh, you in? No, man, it was my cousin. You went in like what? Yeah, like what? They like, man, I'm listening to you, man. Like, what you talking about? Right. Man? You know what you talking about? Then there's some people that like they'll want to be in some total different industry, right? Like that's important things to learn from any individual. I ain't gonna take that away. Sense, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are telling you things out of what they think is their best interest of you. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that most of them are fear-based. So it's kind of best to have somebody who can take that emotion out of it and like just say, commit to your work, and you'll get there. You know what I'm saying? But they tell you because they scared. They don't want to see you fail, and probably why they in their situation. But I think it's important to get somebody in that arena that you're in that actually understands it. Because I'm in the Navy, so I have Navy mentors. I also do real estate investing. I have real estate investing mentors. You know what I'm saying? I do actually none of my like motivational mentor like personal, but you know, I feel like when they be on YouTube, they come into my house. You know
bad too.
Right, but you mean it's other motivate people. You just talk through normal conversation that motivate you as well. But yeah, man, like I kind of have different domains, different mentors for different domains.
Right.
You know, if I want to talk about family stuff, I got different people for that. And you gotta, I mean, yeah, you should have a limit to mentors. Like whatever you care about in life, you should have somebody that can help guide you along that way.
Makes sense. And I guess on what you were saying, like the people, they concerned about you, and you know, of course, they be fearful of what you may get yourself into, just on, you know, maybe somebody stories they heard, articles and stuff like that. I get it, and I guess that's the difference between like filtering out information. Because Jay-Z was saying, I was seeing an interview he did, and he was saying like how his uncle, before he even started, just think about the level he owned, but how he even started, his uncle like, man, you would never sell like no records and all this stuff, but how he took it and received it was different. Like, okay, well, you know, he just projecting his fear on me. Like, that's from his vantage point. That's what he see himself as. Right. That what he see himself would do. Like, man, I get out here, I try to do something, I ain't gonna make it. Now I'm gonna tell him from what I would think would happen.
And absolute concern.
Concern. So he's like, I can't fault him for that because he's just speaking from his vantage point. So I see it completely different. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
My uncle said I never sell a million records. I sold a million records like a million times.
Yeah, so it's like look at what they saying based on just out of concern. I get it. Like, okay, I get it. But don't take it so personal. And that's what I think a lot of people mess themselves up. Like, oh, dang man, the moment don't feel like I can
don't believe it.
And then you start to like beat yourself down. And like, nah, man, like if you have a vision, like focus on that vision and like make it happen.
Muhammad Ali broke it down too. Like he was, I mean, the way he did, you know, Muhammad Ali very, I won't call him flamboyant, but you know what I'm saying? But yeah, but he was saying like most people that like down there, I mean, we ain't gonna put nobody on no levels, but for the sake of this point, it's like everybody kind of looking at the world from this level, right?
Right.
But when you have a vision, you naturally been elevated, and you can top things together, and you can see stuff that they can't see where they at. They can only see what's in front of them. Right. You have the vision, so you naturally elevated. You can see how everything tied together. You know what I'm saying? And this whole thing was like when they tell you what they telling you, that's the truth on their level.
Right.
That's the truth from what they're looking at. But when you see it, you like,
you on the roof.
Ain't nobody gonna help me. Like, there's somebody right here that can, you know what I'm saying, can do that for me. There's somebody over there. Like, you see the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know. I think all this stuff beautiful, man. Because, but that not taking it personal, that's super important. There's a lot of people with spoiled relationships. I mean, straight up walk out on people because you need those people. And their mind changes after a while. It's like they just need you. And this is what you have to take in the responsibility. You need to be the one that showed them and prove to them like things are different. Right. They're gonna be people that if you got to a certain point and they witness some kind of failure, they're gonna say, I told you. They're gonna tell you all these other things. They're gonna remind you what they said just to make sure that they were right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Cause but yeah, man, like you just gotta keep that thing moving, but you gotta make sure that you give them something to believe in. So next time they be talking to somebody else, be like, yeah, man, Carlo did it, man. Shoot. You should, man. Go ahead and do it, man. Carlo, he got about him, man. He did it, man. There are a lot of people say that they feel like they got something to do with that too. But yeah, you don't ruin no relationships about that, man, because they literally, it's coming from a good place. Mm-hmm. It's just, you know what I'm saying, it's just not what you really need. But and some people say I'm gonna set out to prove them wrong. That ain't never really been my forte for me. Like I ain't really grinding for the person that don't believe in me. Like they ain't why I wake up in the morning. Like it's like I'm doing it for one, you know, for my greater purpose, and I'm doing it again for like anybody who's looking toward for any kind of inspiration. You know what I'm saying? They don't know who's watching, so you just live your life to make sure that when they looking at you, like you showing them the thing that's right. You know what I'm saying? Being a mentor without probably even knowing that you're being one, honestly. Pride that people not even admit.
And I guess that goes back to one conversation we had before. I usually look at that like how people don't believe something unless they see it. And it's just like back in our community where we at, like we've been traditionalized, if that's even the word.
We're rolling with
it. So it's like everybody doing the same thing on a consistent basis all the time, every single day. Like it doesn't change. And then you had a couple people and most things happen where the people that actually go out and make something happen, they never come back. But the fact that you have some individuals whose heart is like there and they try to come back and tell them like, hey, there's a way. Here's this here. Well, why you here? No, I've actually went out, did other things. I'm trying to bring you some resources back. Do you see these resources I'm laying on you and try to lay it out black and white, but it's still not being received as well as you wanted to.
Yeah.
So I think it's just all about, I don't know, I'm still trying to tackle that one, man, and see what can be done to really get people outside of those mental chains. It's just tearing us up. Baby.
I think one at a time, man. Just gotta try to, whoever's ready to receive, man, dump as much information as you possibly can.
And hopefully it's just a domino effect.
Right, and they teach somebody else, man.
Right.
That's the kind of the one I've been choosing. I still want to tackle this thing because I don't know, I'm like that little mad scientist, man. I don't accept that it can't happen. It's just how I see it can work now. But I do want to say, I want to be able to just spray my information on everybody to be taking it in. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, when you start to see how the world really works, man, you really want everybody to know about it. You know what I'm saying? You work hard at it. You stay up trying to work on content to put it out to people, man. I don't really be as dedicated, you know what I'm saying? That's on me. But yeah, man, consistently putting stuff out there, man, all kind of force feeding people, you know what I'm saying? They still, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Stuff crazy, man. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna find a way where you can get that thing about there, man.
It's gonna happen.
But you know what Pac said, man, he gonna change the world. But he want to spark that mind. I honestly think I'm the person that he was talking about right now. He definitely wasn't one that really, when I look at one of my youngest visions, he was one of the people that kind of pulled me into a different direction. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's really just focus on the things you can, not get completely overwhelmed with it, but at the same time be that mad scientist and we're going to figure that thing out.
Until we get it, just keep going.
We're going to figure that thing out.
I guess that's just all in who you are, the consistency. Boom, we going to make it happen too. That Thomas Edison approach. Hey, you failed at fixing this, man. You've done all these things.
Yeah.
Now why this one ain't work out? It ain't just work out. I found ways where there's 10,000 ways this don't work, but I found one way that it does. All of those things that I went through led up to this one big win. Yeah. And when you do win, it's gonna be massive.
Yeah.
Be mad because you took all those lessons and used them as building blocks to get you where you are. So that's why I look at most people look at failure as a bad way. I'm fearful of what's going on. It ain't the fear thing that stop me. It's something deeper than that. Look really into it. It ain't fear stopping you because all you gonna do is be in the same position you always been in. It never changed. That's your ground zero. You're gonna be where you are. So what's the worst that can happen? Go out here and make it happen. The worst is gonna happen. You're gonna be back to square one.
Where you at now?
So hey, it's worth the try.
Yeah. I definitely believe in that, bro. That deep. And I think another thing too, when you talk about back home, man, a lot of people are already fearful, and they talking to other fearful people. They talking to people that are not in their domain. You know what I'm saying? It's some people that will validate their fears, and they never get started. You know what I'm saying? And then it's that one person that would say something that's different than what they say. That's the other business working on UMA is to create a community of where you can share your belief and it's going to be heard and responded to by people that actually do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? In an entrepreneur realm, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they grow and expand other things. Right. But that's the whole concept behind it, is to create a community of welcomeness to do things that are different than what we've all been offered, which is not much. Working at this plant, which these jokers closing back and all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's that ain't no, and that's that comfortable life, and then all of a sudden that happens, and now you got to figure it all out again. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a daily thing, man. To that combination of that person who is fearful and don't really know what they want to do or what they can do, talking to another person who don't know what they can do, and then they come together. Now they look at us or anybody else for that matter, and they sit there together and talk about them jokers they doing that. It's a scam. You know what I'm saying? How in the world is a scam? I ain't asking you for a penny. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm still giving you game. I feel free education is bad, but I'm talking about some good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Because it ain't handed out to you like that. You don't go to these universities and be like, hey, man, what you got for free? No, they're going to charge you for that information. So same thing goes, man. When people really pouring their heart out and trying to give you some value, like take it as like take
It don't
for
cost
what
you
it is. It
nothing.
don't cost you nothing. But
Especially if they open it up for free. It's so many times I go into things, I don't know what it is, and sometimes I kind of get an idea of what it is, and I'm like, all right, they talking about it free. Worst thing I can do is show up, and they offer me something they want me to buy, and I ain't interested in buying, I ain't gonna buy it.
Right.
You don't twist me up to make me buy nothing now. But I'm gonna go in there and listen. Like, I don't care. They be like, we got a real estate opportunity _ timeshare. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't know what timeshare is, you know what I'm saying? Real estate, I like it. Go up in there, I listen to it at the end, they try to sell their timeshare. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. I don't really want no timeshare, but I like what y'all did. What it cost me a couple minutes of some time that I otherwise would be using to it nothing else anyway. So it's just really just free education, you know what I'm saying? Like, I stick my head up in anything just to learn, bro. Like, it's like,
because you just never know what a person can say at that moment. It can like resonate and change.
and it can click something. Because like maybe you hear that real estate is timeshare, you're like, hey, I could probably own one of these.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you can meet somebody else. Or maybe you do the timeshare. You know what I'm saying? It works out for some people.
Right.
Because it be some people important when we talk about like some people value traveling and all this stuff. So that's something you want to do, man. Like, yeah, man, it's out there, man. People just gotta, you know,
Just go ahead and get it.
That's it, man.
But hey, man, we're gonna continue to be mad scientists, man. We're gonna find a solution to this thing until we get it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thank you for tuning into the Morning Smoke, man. Smoke's out, bro.
Smoke's out, baby.
We got this thing, man. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, the whole nine, man. YouTube. Stay tuned, man. The Morning Smoke.